now. We'll get to the big story in just a moment, but another chilly night, and boy, looking ahead to the weekend, who knows what lies ahead.
And even,
maybe a little bit of everything, huh?
Even beyond maybe single digits. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bill Meck with your LEX 18 Storm Tracker forecast.
That is darkness falling across the bluegrass as we are looking with your Kentucky One Health WeatherBug camera located at St. Joseph Hospital. Everything moving along nicely there on Broadway on its outbound track. What we're looking at are changes that are coming as we head toward the weekend, and with that, we're going to talk more about that in the main weather segment. Tonight, it's more of the same. We're just kind of stuck in this weather muck. We've got clouds, it's damp feeling, it's certainly cold and raw out there. Not much oomph in the atmosphere, so it's hard to make anything fall out of the sky, but on the Max Track Live Doppler, we will continue to scan it. We may see some drizzle or freezing drizzle a little bit later on tonight. Future track, 7 o'clock, there are the clouds that are around. They're really not going anywhere. It's that low, flat stratus deck, so there's not a lot of variety to the sky as well. Now, during the day tomorrow, a sprinkle is a possibility. It's even trying to portray it perhaps as a flurry. That might be a bit ambitious, but a little freezing drizzle late tonight, early tomorrow certainly is a possibility, but patches of it are going to be the key. As we're talking temperatures, it is remaining cold. We're hovering at and just below freezing. Oh, we get a whole lot more below freezing. We will talk about when in just a minute.
Okay, Bill, thanks.
Dozens of rescue workers team up to save a horse trapped in frigid water in Powell County.
Now, that horse may have been trapped for hours in the Red River off Adams Ridge Road in Clay City. Kylan Mills was there for the rescue. She has the LEX 18 big story at 6.
Tense moments in Powell County as rescue crews raced against the clock, knowing this horse, Katie, couldn't withstand the cold river much longer.
We was just trying to encourage her to stay awake because, you know, she was wanting to drop her head in the water. She was kind of wanting to give up.
We're told this morning the other horses on this farm on Adams Ridge Road actually ran to the front gate and alerted someone that something was wrong. They found Katie in the water and called 911. They don't know exactly how or when she got in there.
It's an emotional thing, you know. I'm an animal lover, and you don't want the horse to die, and you know, being right there with her and being kind of helpless because one person can lift her out.
Rescue crews from several counties quickly went to work, first untangling Katie from some tree roots and mud she was caught in. Then came the process of getting her out after she was too cold and weak to climb out on her own. It took a team effort to pull her to safety. Crews then rushed to warm her up until large animal vets arrived.
Oh, it feels fantastic. We're just glad the animal's up, moving around, and that's the best sign.
Katie, you could say she's a fighter, and she's now on the mend. Covering the news in Powell County, Kylan Mills, LEX 18 News.
Vets say Katie was experiencing some shock at first, but is doing much better. And they say she'll need to be monitored closely for the 24 hours, but she should make a full recovery. A man is in jail and a woman is dead after she was found unconscious at a Berea McDonald's.
Rodney Elam claims he did everything possible to save her, but investigators say surveillance video shows what really happened. LEX 18's Lee Searcy has the story from Madison County.
A week ago Tuesday morning, police say surveillance video showed Rodney Elam carrying 18-year-old Sarah Boykin into this Berea McDonald's, then taking the apparently unconscious woman to the men's restroom. Police say he walked in and out of the bathroom several times, then ultimately left her there 36 minutes before ever asking for help. He faces first-degree assault and drug trafficking charges.
He's facing those charges because his actions caused her serious physical injury.
But 4 days later, Boykin died. Sitting in jail, Elam tells a different story. He admits both did drugs, including meth, but says he did what he could to help her. Even administered CPR, he claims.
I'm shocked and surprised at him, really, because I sat there the whole time and tried to get 911 assistance to her as quick as I could.
A story police don't believe. They say Elam could face upgraded charges in the future. Covering the news in Madison County, Lee Searcy, LEX 18 News.
Well, listen to this. You're now more likely to be killed by an opioid overdose than you are in a motor vehicle accident. The National Safety Council says 1 in 96 people will die from an overdose, while 1 in 3 will be killed in a car wreck. The Fayette County coroner says he feels there are several reasons for this, one of which dates back to the removal of dosage amounts from pills.
It's a prescription. It's not laced with fentanyl or something like that. So the individual knew what they were taking, so we weren't having near the drug overdoses.
Ginn said he saw a drop in overdoses between 2017 and 18, with access to Narcan likely being the main reason for that. A small eastern Kentucky community is auctioning off a piece of history that was used for protection in the 1920s and 30s.
When the rare Tommy gun sells, the money will be used to help fund their police department. Alexa Helwig has details and how much it's worth.
It's a 1921 Thompson submachine gun, and the weapon is just like one you've probably seen in the movies.
With the gangsters and the old war movies, the Marines used to carry them.
And for decades, this one has been locked up in Jenkins City Hall. It was bought by Consolidation Coal Company, which built the city of Jenkins in 1912. The Tommy gun was shipped to the police department for protection in the 1920s and 30s.
The story we've always been told is they used it to guard the payroll when the money come in on the train.
But in 2019, the time has finally come to let this piece of history go.
Some interest has come up lately with it, so we started making some more calls and talking to some auction companies and some experts that deal with these type of weapons.
Right now, the gun could sell for between $75,000 and $110,000.
It's sentimental, and there's some folks that would rather not do it, and I'm not 100% wanting to do it, but for what it would ever be used for, it's too big, too heavy to carry, it's too valuable to have out in a police car.
Mayor DePriest says once it's sold, the money will stay in the police department.
The economy the way it is, money's tight, and it's hard to staff a police department, and their cruisers are getting older and the equipment's getting older.
The mayor hopes to match grant funding and keep their police force as well funded as possible. Covering the news in Letcher County, Alexa Helwig, LEX 18 News.
Even though their paychecks have stopped, many government workers are still showing up to work. That includes dozens at Bluegrass Airport who are struggling with hardship.
But strangers and familiar faces are stepping up to spread kindness and give them a break. Conroy DeLuche has more about our favorite frequent flyer who has a big heart.
With his ministry work, Father Jim Sitchko says that the Bluegrass Airport has become like a second home to him as he flies in and out of Lexington. Well, with the government shutdown now in its 4th week, he wanted to do something to help those who help him get to his next destination.
It's the one day I'm not flying. When I see these people, many of them, I don't know their names, but they know me, and I know them only from my interactions constantly through here. And so, you know, for me, I consider them family and friends.
Knowing that many still working are struggling during the shutdown.
So this is for you all and the air traffic control.
Father Jim brought 12 pizzas for TSA and air traffic control workers.
Thank you. Thank you. I know. I appreciate y'all. You let me know whatever I can do for you.
We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Benjamin Kelly says the unknown is the hardest part of the shutdown, but that the TSA agents in Lexington are a family.
We try to remain very positive, still come into work and do our job.
These are valuable people. I mean, think about it. We're putting our safety, our lives in their hands, and yet it seems like they're being ignored or being punished for something that they have no power over.
And as Father Jim said before he ran out, it costs nothing to be kind. Covering the news in Lexington, Conroy DeLuche, LEX 18 News.
What you think you see on the streets of Lexington is exactly that, the fastest growing city in the state.
How much of Lexington's success can be attributed to the man who just stepped down as mayor? A discussion with Jim Gray is next on LEX 18 News at 6.